This is TikTok, the China app. Welcome to the SLUSH PILE, one of many social engineering platforms where people shop around propaganda. Today I watched a little video starring Justin Sledge, who is a wealth of information and for the most part a straight shooter. He clearly describes what most people have yet to figure out. I'm going to show you this first.
Now in the story of David and
Teeth can heal.
Anytime you hear this noise, you probably should dance elsewhere.
Now, if there's mercury,
I do like her though. Barbara O'Neill's pretty neat. Who fucking cares? Don't know why there's an ad. That guy's pretty fucking neat.
This is why you should put trash. The hardest thing to do in
Jacob's okay, mostly.
could also be used as. Oh boy, Ted, did you hear what Tucker Carlson said?
Nobody decent recommends or promotes Tucker Carlson. Prince beat women. Again, Barbara O'Neill, because it's just going to keep showing me the same shit.
So
This guy shops around propaganda, mind you. He's blocked me before. Look, more pointless shit.
How are we supposed to?
By the way, good people don't promote AI filters, digital currency, etc., etc.
Secret mystery school tradition within the American
Is there?
preserve.
So this is what I take daily.
I like that guy still. Who fucking cares about Kendra? Hey, look, Barbara O'Neill again. What? Aliens on this page I already bashed. Pointless shit.
What if everything that we have been telling you is true?
No way.
What if the very people that pull the strings,
What?
that pull down the lever,
There's a
say
lever?
yes, no, give the thumbs up and the thumbs down?
No fucking way. What the fuck is this?
This is a photo of a young...
The poor fellow soldiers of Christ and of the Temple of Solomon in Jerusalem, better known as the Knights Templar, are as absolutely famous as they are subject to being associated basically with nonsense masquerading as history. In fact, I sometimes talk about the Templar nonsense coefficient, that the longer a History Channel episode about them or an internet video talks about the Templars, there's basically a geometric rise in speculative, made-up, dumpster fire misinformation. The Templars discovered the Kabbalah, or they found the Holy Grail, or the Ark of the Covenant, or all those socks that go missing from the dryers all over the world. They were all in the Temple Mount somehow. And then there's something, Mary Magdalene, baby, magic, RH negative bloodline, Atlantis for some reason. Let's just throw Atlantis in there because of course. But then they buried their treasure over in Canada and Nova Scotia on Oak Island, which there's some Michigan guys digging that up. And then they rejoined the Zeta Reticuli people via the Bermuda Triangle after waging a successful space war with the Black Cube Blizzard people out there near Saturn. And they're now, I don't know, waging a war against the undead in Ravenloft or something. You know, average History Channel, average conspiracy tube drivel. But it's ironic that in all this bovine diaper filler, that the actual mysticism deeply connected to the founding of the Knights Templar is basically never discussed or explored. Well, except for some cringe Catholic propaganda like, you know, you want to be cool knight warrior dudes, right? Well, be like a 12th century monk and don't think dirty thoughts, and you too will be a knight warrior dude for Christ.
To believe that in 1847, a group of pioneers, 147 pioneers, just rolled on into Salt Lake City, and in 20 years just started knocking out these buildings in like 2-3 years maybe. Let's look at a building being deconstructed, okay, by hand, brick by brick by people, using horse and buggy. This was not the same civilization that built those other buildings, period. And they expect us to believe they were putting up these buildings in like 3 years with this technology, with horses and buggies. This is a lie. This is supposed to be a construction photo. This is not new construction. It's all a lie. These buildings were here. Our civilization was reset, and the truth is being hid from us so that we can be controlled. Are you ready to believe that you've been lied to? So
Listen to that last bit in particular.
that we can be controlled. Are you ready to believe that you've been lied to?
No, I don't stress the importance in a belief system whatsoever. There's nothing but answers to reality. And anybody with a brain in their head who chose to use it or chooses to use it rather, could sort this shit out. But you don't see answers to reality online. You don't see the grassroots approach, our master celebrity puppets, the controlled opposition assets, etc., etc. They don't spell that shit out for you because they're not in place to help you. Narratives like this are in place to fuck you and I up and corrupt what once did reflect reality, what did reflect history, the bits and pieces we did have. Now, this here, it's available to the general public. The Davos panel is the public form or the public version of the Bilderberg Group because it's a consent-based system. So those transcripts you could have looked up. It's why we were given the internet. What they stressed in there is they were going to give the masses numerous forms of communication to promote narratives, their narratives. In this case, adult fairy tales. Bullshit. I've said this many times. And you would hear about this. You would have heard about this years ago if people were just fucking thinking for themselves, but they're not. This is why AOL discs were free. This is why you got a free cell phone when you sign up for a fucking plan, and this is why this China app is free. The reason I stress that is this China app uses some of the same wording that the American Instagram app uses. What a coincidence. All of these social engineering platforms are free because you and I are not only profiling ourselves, which is why LifeLog was going to be disbanded, but ironically it was rolled out the same day Facebook was launched because Facebook is LifeLog. We're profiling ourselves. We're training the AI. We're doing so many goddamn things that we shouldn't be doing right now. But most people aren't thinking for themselves, so they don't recognize what's what. At the bottom, you see social engineering stickers. Morons call emojis. Most people use them these days. Chances are you're going to see some of them in here, but maybe I'm wrong. Usually you will. There's one. There's some. There's one. There's another. Because people are not thinking for themselves. They're playing follow the leader. They're being herded. And they're not thinking for themselves. How many people are following fucking rabbit hoes?
So
8,000. That means they're not censored. We live in the age of patently fascist tactics for the slow thinkers, the misinformed, and the curious. Censorship is alive and well, and today people call it cancel culture. And/or positive vibes only, polarizing garbage that slow-thinking people bought into instead of looking into. This should resonate with you. It should piss you off. It should keep you up at night. It should challenge you to challenge yourself to do better so that, we might be able to cultivate the best and the brightest. So the system you and I are a part of it could possibly return to a semblance of harmony. Because if it wasn't painfully obvious, it's disharmonious in a number of ways. Spiritually, physically, mentally, blah, 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 blah. And most people are waxing poetic that they're in the age of enlightenment and information and they're quote-unquote woke because, again, they will repeat anything. They're following social engineering trends. And woke is a social engineering buzzword for painfully stupid people. And you and I are surrounded by them. But what I already highlighted in here should be more than enough proof of that. But most people don't want to think because thinking is hard. It's in the wording, whether it's meant to be ironic and or insulting. If you listen closely, he's going to tell you he'd like you to not believe in this.
So you're supposed to believe that in 1840.
But by the end of this 1 minute message, because we're doing away with attention spans, he's going to tell you to believe in this.
And the truth is being hid from us so that we can be controlled. Are you ready to believe that you've been lied to?
Pretty fucking funny, right? But as always, what the fuck do I know?